Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this practice can help for us to develop our inner awareness. So when it comes to this spiritual path, it always depends on the faith. So when it comes to faith, there are three kinds of faith. So one is faith of appreciation. So far in this journey, that all the Buddhas, all other enlightened masters, and all other spiritual leaders, writers, speakers, and the people in a lot of ways nourish this path. And in our heart, we have to appreciate them. So that before you sit for meditation, this is how you can prepare your mind in day-to-day life. Because if you have the certain kind of ideas, another way, sometimes you can have the Buddhist dogma. Buddhist dogma is kind of like a Buddhism related to dogma is kind of like this. Oh, I practice meditation. Or I practice only this kind of meditation. So as you know, in Buddhism, there are different schools. People practice in different ways. And sometimes when the people come to believe only their practice is the right thing, it becomes kind of like a dogma. But when it comes to meditation, especially when it comes to the vipassana meditation, and according to the Buddha's teaching and the tranquility meditation, you develop as a foundation. But when it comes to vipassana, you have to develop your awareness and sharpen, make it more clear and vivid. Go towards each and every direction and to see each and everything with the cause and effect. So I will talk it later. But that means you get out of this self-centered view. That is the most important practice with the vipassana. So when you come to the vipassana level, even you practice the meditation, you cannot come to any kind of dogmatic believing. This is the only thing. Because that our life itself happened because of many reasons. And even when it comes to our understanding, inference happens with many reasons around us. Our knowledge, based on this inference that the cause and effect and the phenomena and all other, the cultural, traditional, religious background. So then once you hold it to something, and sometimes we start to criticize things. So in the Vipassana, you're not going to become like that. You become more open to others' ideas. You start to give some space for other ideas. And why? Because you know this, that whatever we know based on information, even ourselves, our own knowledge, our own, the wisdom, the based on information. So then you can't criticize. So in the very first level, you have to have the faith regarding all the religious leaders and all the religious practitioners, all the teachers. So like that whoever, whatever that the person believe, and you have to have the faith regarding this. And the second one is faith of hearing. So whatever that we heard through this journey, we learned through that way, we nourished through that way. And we have to appreciate it and give some kind of space in our heart. And then the third one is the faith of belief. And you gain a role model through the history, and then you transform to that level. So enlightened master, so the Buddha. So then, and even any other religious leaders or whatever that the religion that you practice. So then you have an idea to become somebody and transform yourself to higher level of wisdom. So then that if you have the appreciation in you, and if you have the validation through the hearing, and at the same time, that will help you through the practice to gain to that. So then you have to be very careful not to develop any kind of dogmatic practice out of meditation. You can't criticize anybody because you practice meditation. You are the one who need to appreciate and at the same time giving some space for other people. And when it comes to knowledge, one is that based on phenomena. So the inferred, that the conclusion reach on the basis of evidence and reasoning. So that is our knowledge. So when it comes to meditation deeply, through the sensation, through observation, and it becomes our own observation through our body, we gain that evidence, and then through practicing itself by reasoning inside our mind, by observing, analyzing, we come to understand how things come to be as they are. Another one is the cause and effect. So when it comes to cause and effect, that in the Vipassana level, when you develop the higher lower level of observation with this analytical mind, vigorous mind, how this can break down the ordinary understanding and get out of the self-centered view. So even though we know that things happen because of the cause and effect, if you look very carefully, in the very conventional life, the ordinary life, the very nature of the conventional life is when the things happen as a result of cause and effect. Listen this very carefully. When the things happen as a result of cause and effect, we mostly get lost in the effect and we can't see the cause. But the thing is, when it comes to deeper understanding our mental behavior, so without the cause, you can't understand the effort. So, as example, because of the fire, that the heat can come, and if you can't understand if you don't know the fire, the understanding about the heat not going to be complete. You may understand it as something, but if you don't know the fire, even you experience the effect, that whatever you come to understanding, it's not going to be 100% perfect. So what the Vipassana knowledge does, what the Vipassana wisdom brings to you, when you experience something, it not allow you to get lost just only on the surface level of effect. It deeply takes you to see the cause. And when you come to understand the both things at the same time, with the cause and effect at the same time, that the whatever that you experience in that very moment, that experience, you're not going to take it as a solid experience. So when you don't take anything as a solid experience, the mind not going to develop any kind of name or form on it. When the mind not going to develop any name or form out of any perception or any experience, it is not anymore belong to conventional life. So that is what happened when it go to the Vipassana. So then, in that very level of observation itself, yourself, you have to keep that freedom in you. So that freedom, it is not only that the meditation, in day-to-day life, from morning to night, that you have to have your lifestyle, you have to take it as. So that's why it is just not only practicing meditation. The Vipassana is, there is a way that you can live a life with the Vipassana knowledge. So that your very mental attitude itself become your life. And at the same time, in day-to-day life, the way that you start to understand things, that the way you start to reasoning things, the way you start to take it as a knowledge to yourself, become a kind of like a building block for you to deeper practice meditation with your mind. So then, when it comes to even the body, even to the sensation, when you observe the sensation, you recognize that sensation itself, not kind of like something happen separately. And the experiencer itself, not someone kind of like experience something separately. And so whatever that you recognize, even that recognition and the recognizer not happen separately. So then, as same like that, the fire and the heat, when you see both together, only the experience going to be at that very moment, rather than caught upon it in our mind with the names and forms, and you more become very clear with what is happening in the moment and with the experience. So the same thing happen when it comes to the perception and the perceiver. But in day-to-day life, what happens? So most of time, when we experience something, we just caught up on the effect. And when we get caught up in the effect, what happens? Our experience itself not going to be complete 100%. So that is itself then become a kind of like an illusion. And out of that half experience, we develop a name or form, and that development take us to very concrete experience and concrete awareness, and to believe this is me. So when the perception and the perceiver, the both together, see how the perception happen, and how the observer or the perceiver happening out of the perception, and then in that very moment, you don't have the very concrete self-centered experience, the more self-centered idea. So to get into that, little by little, when you observe your inhalation, exhalation, rather than hold it to one thing or the one moment and that one experience, little by little, you have to expand your awareness. So otherwise, if your mind little by little shrink, minimize with the mental object, what will happen? You deeply start to caught up in your own dream state. And that dream state, sometimes people believe it as a high mental power, so the jhana, or kind of like you gain some kind of a good result out of our own meditation practice. So then you have to be very careful. Opening mind, having an open mind is a skill. So that open mind you have to keep with the awareness and at the same time with the effort to see. And little by little, you have to expand the capacity to observe, because that is where you can see the cause and effect both. So then whatever you see in the tranquility state, settling down is okay. But when it go to the deeper vipassana level, always you have to remember that whatever you see, your mind has capacity to take it deeper, to see not only the effect, but the cause also. And when you go into that cause maybe become a effect of another cause. And then you go deeper, little by little, little by little, little by little. So that very broad, bright recognition itself take you out of naming or forming your surface level of experience. So this is what happened with the mind. And but to go deeper level, in the beginning, as ordinary level, you have to do some exercise. So that is the main important thing that you have to remember today. So when it comes to your body, so you have body, mind, your spirit. This all bring together is the major purpose when it comes to tranquility state. And so you have to deeply observe your day-to-day behavior and how this body works. Rather than hold it to one thing, one physical action, you have to learn to mix the physical actions. And sometimes, as example, sometimes you only hike, and sometimes you only walk, you don't run. And sometimes you run, you hate walking. Sometimes you cycling and you hate walking. Sometimes you swimming and you hate cycling. And sometimes you do different kind of other sports and you hate all other things. So they see the physical action in itself, what we does on the surface level, and we develop a dogma out of that physical action. Why? We think, oh, whatever we do, that is the only right thing. So then you have to start to come to very mixed physical lifestyle. You can do it for 1 week and see how your body start to change. And as a result of that, how your mind start to become more and more clear. So what you can do, you walk and you run, and if you can, you cycling, and if you can do, you swimming. So this kind of, you mix that, all the physical actions. When you do that way, you start to recognize that your body start to synchronize, and then your body become more flexible with different actions. And so that itself break down this deeper habitual pattern that we develop with our body. As you know, the muscle memory. So that is the physical action. And the second one is your food circle, the things that you eat. And if you can, it is very good. If you look very carefully why you eat, but it is very difficult. So then what you can do, you take 1 week, maybe you can't do it to tomorrow, but one day you remember this. This is another way to master your deeper spiritual practice. So now I gave the physical example, and so this one, you take 1 week So the first day we take as Sunday, you eat 3 times per day. And Monday, you eat 2 times a day. And then the Tuesday, you eat 1 time a day. And by Wednesday, you don't eat. So from Sunday to Tuesday, you eat 3 meals, 2 meals, and 1 meal. And then by the time Wednesday, you stop eating. And at the same time, you have to be very mindful regarding how your body behaves. So now you act with your physical actions, and then now you start to work with your intake, the food especially, and then at the same time you keep practice your meditation. So 3 times a day, eating 3 times a day, 2 times a day, 1 times a day, and then stop eating the whole day fasting. Out of this, there is you can recognize there is one day come for you, deeply your whole body, mind, spirit start to synchronize, harness together, come together, and you feel that deeper this biochemical electricity start to work in a different way. There is one day you can find it. And then you have to remember that day, that how many times you ate and what kind of the physical exercise you did that day and what time you used to practice meditation. So then itself that you can understand this, you deeply get into this cause and effect that you lost by the time. And there is a deeper spiritual key that you can gain out of the cause and effect through this physical body, and you activate deeper your spiritual practice. So then by the time now you realize and you develop the model for yourself that you know. Maybe for some people, when they eat for 3 times per day, they feel good. But some people, they feel that physically they feel tired, sleeping. For some people, 2 times a day. Some people 1 time. It's different person to person. So then it is yourself you have to understand. So that's why you have to recognize the reasons, and you have to recognize the evidence that yours by practicing yourself, not following someone else's chart. So that way, deeply, you start to understand how your body tuned to deeper this practice. Once you understand that, this is a very physical way of understanding how the cause and effect help for you, for your mental state. Another thing is that whatever the things around you, you have to make it free by mentally. And understand that everything has a reason and everything has a cause. And then, so don't caught up on the right and the wrong and good thing is the bad thing. So like that, don't caught up on this dualistic mind. And be more sharp and clear when you see some kind of effect, rather than caught up in that effect, to see the cause. So when the mind has that intention, you can go into it. And that way you practice day by day, day by day, day by day. And when you sit for yourself, your practice is going to become more sharp and clear, more sharp and clear. So by the time when the perception perceive in that very level, your mind not going to caught up on that just the surface level with your past experience. And then in that very level, in the very moment that you perceive things, and itself you're going to have the direct perception. And once you have that direct perception, that means you already tuned to the cause and effect both. So once you're able to understand the causality, it takes you out of the self-centered mind. It takes you out of this egocentric experience. Once the mind gets out of the self-centered mind or the egocentric mind, and it takes you out of the desire while you experience something, it anymore not going to develop any kind of desires. So once the mind gets out of the desire, mind will itself get out of the anger or the hatred or the jealousy and the fear. Once the mind gets out of that kind of things, there is no any kind of comparison. When there is no any kind of comparison, there is no any kind of lethargic mind. When there is no any kind of lethargic mind, there is no any kind of doubt. When there is no any kind of doubt, in the moment that you experience itself, your experience bring the wisdom to you. So once your experience become the wisdom, there is no thinking mind. When there is no thinking mind, there is no becoming. It is just only happening. So that is how this journey works. So I hope you can, in case that if you have time, you can go to YouTube later and then understand how you can develop this model. And then by the time yourself, learn and keep it, remember yourself by the time one day, maybe somewhere when you are alone yourself, so you may have time to get the right model for you, and that will help for you go more deeper in the beginning. So with that, let's get into practice today a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens, just recognize it through the sensation. Do nothing extra. Bring my attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjisami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.